Okay. All right. This is Frank Misak here, systems engineer with Cisco Systems, doing my first official video demonstration with Initech, and I'm without my filmmaker son who normally does the video and audio, so hopefully this will all go well. But we're going to go ahead and get started by logging into the APIC and getting started. So we find up the URL here, admin, and our password. All right. And we got some camera issues. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. I think we got this straight now. All right. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We'll get by that. Okay. So we're logging into the Fabric here. We are logged in. We come to the topology view, and okay. All right. This isn't working. Stupid camera. I don't know how you get this crap set up. Okay. So we got logged into the Fabric. We're on our inventory page with our topology. Can somebody get the phone? And we're going to... Can somebody get the phone? All right. I'm going to have to disconnect. I'm just going to disconnect this because I can't have this while I'm working on this video. Okay, we got the phone disconnected. We should be good. No interruptions. We should be good. Okay, so first step here for Initech in this demo, we're going to create the tenant. They only need a single tenant. We're just going to be real generic here and call this tenant 1. VRF name, we're just going to make this tenant 1 underscore VRF. So we've got something to start with. We'll see if Peter likes this naming convention that we set up here. Click submit. And what this is going to do is take us right to the tenant 1 tab, to the networking area. So you can see that we've got a VRF1, tenant 1 underscore VRF set up here. We're going to go ahead and drag and drop the first bridge domain onto the tenant, or onto the VRF. We're just going to call this tenant 1 underscore bridge domain, BD1. For forwarding, we're going to select optimize, and then the first thing we're going to do is go to layer 3 configuration. So kind of think of this as an SVI for this network. So we're going to click the plus sign here and create a 10.1.1/24 gateway, and we're going to click submit. So with that, we've got our VRF defined, we've got our first bridge domain. Let's go ahead and drag a second one here with a second gateway. So this is going to be tenant 1 underscore BD2. Forwarding is going to be optimize. Layer 3 config, we're going to add our gateway here. And let's do 10.2.2.1/24 here. All the other default checked radio boxes are good. Let's go ahead and click OK and submit. And at this point, you can, by being on the network tab, you can see you've got your VRF defined and your 2 bridge domains. So at this point, you're good to go with that piece, and you can move on to others. So with that, let's check into some other stuff.
Hey Frank, what's going on, man?
Living the dream, man.
So what's up? You presenting today? Who are you meeting with?
Yeah, I got to hook up with Peter and talk about ACI, and we're going to do a video document about it.
Peter, that unmotivated piece of crap.
All right. Wait. Why does it take so long to get the platform up and running? It's ridiculous. It should not take this long. I can go with my P card to Amazon and I can get this up and running in no time. I've still got to get the applications installed. I've got to get them tested before this go live date is coming up any minute. We need a build once, run anywhere system. This is ridiculous. We have to go through this every single time. Oh my God, I'm calling Lumberg.
Hey, you hear about Smikowski getting out of the hospital, and he's going to throw a big party to celebrate this weekend. I think I might take that new chick from logistics. Things go well, might be showing her the ha! Whoop, whoop! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, buddy.
All right, Drew, I'll check you later. I got to check with Peter.
Later, man. Yeah.
Come on, Lumberg, we need this environment built.
Yeah.
I can't wait months for you guys to get these pieces done.
Yeah.
report. You stole Milton's stapler? Don't you have anything better to do than to steal a collator stapler?
Yeah.
Grow a pair, Lumberg, and get my environment built.
So, Apex, how do we cable them?
Pretty easy. We got our 10 gig cable, so let's get each APIC is going to have a 10 gig connection into each leaf, right? And then what we'll do is we'll create a small management network that we can connect up for management, external management, and then NTP, so we got proper time sync in the network, and then we should be good.
All right. You know, as long as I don't get fired, I think we will be good. That's my only motivation. So, if you can get it done, we'll be good friends.
We can get it done. I think we should probably review some of the basics of ACI, start talking about some of the main things that we talked about when we sold you this technology. So one of the things we're going to need to do is start working on tenants, contracts, VRFs, EPGs, and start talking about some of that grouping. Does that make sense? Come on, man. It's just network automation. Let's go ahead and log into the APIC.
Sounds like Michael has the case of the Mondays.
All right, well, let's go ahead and log into the GUI.
No, huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I need. Yeah, give it to me. Come on, you little let's go. That's what I need. Let's do that. Let's do exactly that, you little
Okay, so we're logged into the fabric here. Let's just go make sure we've got our topology. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that we've got our network nodes discovered, and we do. And now we're going to assign our node IDs and names. So that looks good. Fabric membership looks good. We got 2 leaves, 2 spines, 3 apex, so we're good there. All right, so before we do the cool stuff, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a VPC. So you remember in the 7K environment what it took to create VPCs, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we're talking peer links, peer keep alives, VPC domain, all the physical connections, configuring that up and being off to the races. So within the ACI environment, all we've done is bring up a couple of 40 gig connections. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on inventory and then topology, and then we're going to select both leaf switches. So we're going to right click on those and choose configure. So we're going to click on all the 4 ports that we had configured or cabled up with the 40 gig connections, and we're just going to call this group VPC. So VPC, we're going to make it LACP, 40 gig, and click apply. Boom! VPC configuration in the fabric is done.
You're kidding. That's it?
That's it.
No VPC domain, no peer links, no peer keep alives.
About 4 clicks. All done.
Wow. No kidding. With this APC ACI upgrades, heard it's a lot simpler.
It is. So if you remember on the 7Ks how it was, where you had to basically upload all your images and then do an ISSU or take a whole VPC member down and upgrade it incrementally, all that's out the window. So basically all you got to do is upgrade the images into an APIC. It distributes them on the other APICs. You upgrade those one at a time, so that's hitless. And then what you do is send the fabric over to the different, that's nice, you're going to need a napkin. Send the images over to the different switches, and what I like to do is create a couple of maintenance groups. So I'll create an odd and an even. I'll upgrade the odds first, and when those complete, go to the evens. Then the whole fabric is upgraded. Nobody's even wiser that it happened. Come in and get that.
Yeah, go ahead. Grab it. Hello? I don't think I'm going to come in anymore.
On Saturday?
Ever. Do you think you could get the baseline for me?
What do you mean baseline? Like configure this?
Yeah, just get it all done for me so I can just look at it in the morning.
Yeah, I guess I got nothing better to do.
All right. See you later.
Oh, all right.
Hello?
Hi, Milton. What's happening? I'm gonna have to.
Ask you to go ahead and provision 80 gig of drive space per server for this project. So if you could go ahead and do that,
That would be
No, I was told to provision 20 gigabytes of space, which should be a reasonable amount of space.
Yeah, well, if you could go ahead and do that as soon as possible, that would be terrific. Okay? Thanks
Thanks a bunch, Milton.
Okay, but I could set the building on fire.
Okay, so for phase 2, we're going to create our application profile under tenant 1. So we right click on application profile and select create application profile. The name of this is going to be 3-tier app, because we have a web tier, an application tier, and a database tier. So those are the 3 tiers that are going to be part of this. Once you create that application profile, you'll see underneath that heading, you'll see the new 3-tier app application profile that we just created. So from this point, what we want to do, you've got your drag and drop bar. We're going to drag down an EPG. So we're going to create an endpoint group here. The first one we're going to create is web EPG. For this one, we're going to select the bridge domain that we already created, BD1, and click OK. So now we've got our endpoint group for web EPG. We're going to actually repeat that process, create another one called app EPG, and create it in bridge domain 2. And we're going to create a DB database EPG endpoint group. And we're also going to put that one in bridge domain 2. So those are the 3 endpoint groups are now fully created. And now what we want to do is create contracts between the 3 in whatever order or however manner that we define, so that those endpoint groups can talk together. So what you want to do is drag contract. And the first one we're going to create is between the web EPG and the app EPG. So basically drag that down. And you'll notice here under the EPG's information, some of this information is already populated because of the way that we dragged and dropped. So you can see we've got, in the consumer EPG external network, we've got the app EPG listed. And on the right side, who we want to basically create a contract with is the web EPG. We're going to name this web app contract is the name of it. You can select to use the config L4, L server, and service graphs, but we're not going to do that for this particular case. So we click OK, and you'll notice there's some lines, and we've got a kind of a handshake policy icon there to show that we now have a security contract between the web EPG and the app EPG. Going to do the same thing here between basically the application server and the web and the database server. So same type of thing. We don't need to drop anything down in these 2 selections because they're already picked for us. And we're going to call this what did we decide we were going to name this? The app DB contract. Again, leaving the L4, L7 service graph off. Click OK. And boom, you can see from the application profile view at this point, we've got our contracts between the 3 tiers and how we need to have them for security purposes. So this meets our microsegmentation, or starts to meet our microsegmentation discussion that we've had with Initech security team. So at this point, we're good to go. And that's it for this section. Okay, so for our third and final phase for today, what we're going to do is, now that we've got our security contracts associated and built between our EPGs, let's go ahead and add vCenter to the mix. So from our 3-tier app topology view that we're looking at right here, just grab on the VMware vCenter icon, and the first thing we're going to do is drag it down and attach it to the web EPG. So from this point, you can see we're going to go ahead and click on this click to add vCenter domain. And if we look at the drop down here, we've got a couple of domains defined. So let's go ahead and choose the lab vCenter VDS. We're going to update that and click OK. And then we're going to do that same thing for the app EPG. Add vCenter to this as well. Same process, only this time we're going to select the tenant 1 vCenter. So these vCenter domains we've already created in the background and are available for our use. So now you can see kind of a full topology view here of the application profile with vCenter on the EPGs. And just to kind of circle back, let's go ahead and click on System. and go back to kind of the default dashboard here, and we can see our health scores here, which is another thing that's going to be important as Initech rolls this out, is being able to look at faults within the fabric. I mean, this could be a faulty fan, a faulty power supply, it could be an application performing poorly. And the nice thing is as you drill down into these, you can see exactly what the fault is. And again, that it gives you a percentage on the entire fabric.
So hey, you heard about Milton Wadhams?
That weird collator tool that works down in the basement?
Yeah, him. So check it out. Lumberg steals his stapler. Milton flips out, burns down the DR site. Nobody's seen him since.
Excuse me, sir. I asked for a Mai Tai and they brought me a pina colada. And I said no salt on the margarita. The margarita had big grains of salt. Sir, excuse me, I could shut this resort down. Excuse me, sir. Sir?
All right, so I'm wrapping up this video doc. Hopefully this helps other people looking at this technology. It's certainly going to help Initech with their efforts. So with any luck, people have a better understanding of application-centric. I thought I unplugged that phone.